Welcome back to lesson 3. We're going to do another example of solving a linear equation using an algebraic technique. Here is our next problem. Use an algebraic technique to solve 6 divided by 5 minus x divided by 5 equals 0. We read the entire problem statement out loud slowly. Immediately we ask ourselves the following question. In this mathematical statement, is there an equal sign? Here is the equal sign, which means the entire thing is an equation. We will solve that thing. First thing we do when solving an equation is to write the entire equation down in our own handwriting. You are the best mathematician in your life. I'm so serious about that comment. Here, on the left-hand side, we see something quite interesting, which is the concept that both terms involve a division by 5. As I said earlier, I tend not to like divisions, which means if I can get rid of the division by 5, I'm going to be a really happy person. I know that the inverse operation of division is multiplication. One thing that I might do in this situation is to multiply the entire left-hand side by the number 5. Multiplication undoes division. If I multiply the left-hand side by the number 5, I must also multiply the right-hand side since this is equality. I know for sure that 5 times 0 is 0. Multiplication by 0 turns any number into 0. On the left-hand side, I have a multiplication over an addition. I can make it rain. I can pass that multiplication out through the addition. Here, I'm going to have 5 times negative x divided by 5 plus 5 times 6 divided by 5. In both of these situations, I can write the fraction on the left-hand side as having a denominator 1. When I multiply fractions, I can change the order of each of those denominators in any order that I'd like because multiplication is commutative. I know that 5 divided by 5 is 1. I also know that negative x divided by 1 is negative x. Here, 5 divided by 5 is 1. 6 divided by 1 is 6. In this case, now I have 1 times negative x is just negative x. Here I have 6 equals 0. I'm running out of room. What does a pro do when they're running out of room? Grab another sheet of paper. Why don't I go ahead and do that? I want to get the x over on the other side. In this case, I'm going to add x to both sides, and I see that negative x plus x is 0. 0 plus 6 is 6. X equals 6 on the left-hand side. Before I move on and say that I've done great work, I got to go ahead and check that I'm not smoking anything crazy here. So if I say x equals 6, I take that value, that supposed value of my original x to make this true. Everywhere I see an x, I drop in a 6. We haven't checked this yet, so there's an equal sign. When I add two fractions, or in this case subtract two fractions with a common denominator, I can subtract the numerator and keep the denominator the same. That's a property of fractions. In this situation, I know that this is 6 minus 6 divided by 5 equals 0. 6 minus 6 is indeed 0. And then 0 divided by 5 is 0. We see that the left-hand side equals the right-hand side. We have now checked that this value of x is a solution. If we look at our solution technique, the major idea that we used is to undo division. We used multiplication. We got down to a place where we were left with negative x plus 6 on this side of the equation. We got rid of the subtraction by an addition. Thus, we're using that multiplication undoes division. Subtraction and addition are inverse operations. That makes sense because this is a linear equation. Of course, we're going to use those inverses. In the next video, we're going to see a different inverse that we can use when one side of our equation is equal to 0. It's called the zero product property. See you there.